find your way to hands and knees. Give yourself padding if you need it, and align your wrists so they're just slightly in front of your shoulders, and your fingers are really wide splayed. So from here, we'll take a few rounds of cats and cows, bringing the tops of the feet to the floor, and as you breathe in, slowly arch and extend the spine for cow pose. As you exhale, tuck the toes underneath you, push into the floor and round the spine. Take that a few more times, breathing in to arch and extend. Breathing out to round. Okay, once more with your breath. And then come back to a place where your spine is neither extended nor rounded. We're kind of in that sweet spot in between. Make sure that your fingers are really, really wide splayed, and there's more weight to the front parts of the hands than on the heels of the palms. Now from there, take the right leg straight behind you and bring the right foot to the floor. So ball the foot is to the floor. Strengthen through the right leg, almost like you were in plank pose. We're going to find a little lift to the space between the shoulder blades and a little lift to the back of the head. Now from here, breathe in. As you breathe out, push down into the hands and the foot and lift your left knee off of the floor. See if you can do this without lifting your hips super high. We'll take another full inhalation. And as you exhale, lower down to the left knee and lift the right leg back and up. So for the purpose of what we're doing today, we want to move more from the right leg muscles and from the seat muscles than from your back. So if you feel like your leg is coming really high and you're bowing your spine like this, see if you can check that your leg is about hip height or lower, and there's a little bit of a lift up through the space between the shoulder blades and a little bit of a lift up through the sides of your waist. Okay. So from here, take a nice full breath in. As you breathe out, reach your left arm forward and turn the palm to face in. Now keep the limbs reaching. As you take your next exhalation, bring the left arm left and the right leg slightly right, moving just a few inches. As you breathe in, bring the limbs back toward the midline. And as you breathe out, release all the way back down to hands and knees. Okay, we'll change sides, taking the left leg back, toes are tucked, almost like you're coming into a plank pose with that left leg. Find that little bit of lift up, space between the shoulder blades, even though the tops of the shoulders slide back away from the ears. And there's a little bit of a lift to the back of the head. Now from here, breathe in, and as you breathe out, press down to hands and left foot. Lift the right knee and hover just for a moment. We're going to breathe in there, and the breath out, lower down to the right knee, lift the left leg straight up and back. Again, on this first round, check that you're not arching your lower spine, but you're lifting up the sides of the ribs, sides of the waist. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, reach your right arm forward. Okay. We're going to inhale with that reach, and on the exhale, take the limbs slightly away from the midline. As you breathe in, bring the limbs back toward the midline, and as you exhale, lower all the way down to hands and knees. So we're going to skip that plank part and put this all together with breath. So as you inhale, reach your right leg back and your left arm forward. As you breathe out, bring the limbs outside the midline. Breathing in slowly toward the midline, and breathing out to release. Staying as centered as possible in the torso, take the left leg, right arm, breathing in, and breathing out, limbs away from the midline, limbs toward the midline, breathing in, and breathing out to release. Let's do this one more time on each side. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale, outside. Inhale toward the midline. Exhale to release. Last time, left Splay your fingers, take your elbows and your forearms to the floor, and bring your forehead in the direction of the mat. It may or may not touch. Now keeping the fingers splayed, next time you breathe in, rise up to find hands and knees. Little bit of a lift to the chest there, and as you exhale, bend the elbows, draw the belly in toward the spine, and fold in for child's pose. We'll take this flow a couple more times, breathing in to come forward, breathing out to come back. Twice more. And come all the way back into child's pose. Now from child's pose, come back up to find hands and knees. We're going to add on to that little bit of a leg lift. So check in with your wrists. Again, splay the fingers. The wider base you can find, the better. Now from here, take the right leg back, toes to the floor like you did before. This is going to bring us into a full plank. So press down into the hands, lift the space between the shoulder blades just a little bit, lift from the back of the head. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, take your left knee up toward the belly. Take a nice full breath in, and as you breathe out, reach the left leg back so that you're in plank pose. We're going to inhale in plank. Keep lifting the space between the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, lower to the knees, bend the elbows, and take the chest forward and down for Ashtadasana. Now from here, point the toes, breathe in, reach the chest forward and through the hands. And as you exhale, lower down, bring the arms back by your sides, palms so they face the floor. Really splay with the fingers. Now lift one leg at a time, reach them up and back, so each leg can feel longer, all 10 toes rooting to the mat. We're going to breathe out here. And on the breath in, lift the chest, lift the shoulders, and reach the arms back and up. For this variation, keep the toes on the floor. And imagine your inner thighs as if they're trying to lift up away from the floor. So really strong leg. Take 2 more breaths. The inhalations will lift you a little higher. The exhalations will lower you. Another round. And as you exhale, lower all the way down. Bring the hands by your chest. Press up to hands and knees. And this time, tuck the toes as you stretch back for child's pose. So your toes are tucked, your arms are straight for this one, and we're folded in over the legs. The same thing to the left side. So we're going to rise back up to hands and knees. Bring the tops of the feet to the floor. Take the left leg back, almost like you're in plank pose with that left foot and left leg. Now from here, tops of the shoulders slide away from the ears. The space at the back of the heart lifts, the backs of the ears lift. We're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, lift the right knee up and hover. Now breathe in, push down with the hands to lift up a little more, and as you exhale, shoot the legs straight back for plank pose. Now from plank, inhale to lift, back of the head, back of the heart space, and as you exhale, lower to the knees, bend the elbows straight back, come all the way down to the heart and the chin for Ashtadasana. And as you breathe in, glide forward and through, just a baby cobra. Now this time as you exhale, lower down, slide your arms back by your sides. We're going to start the same way, lifting one leg and then the other, so you're lengthening them back as much as possible. Exhale fully, and as you inhale, lift the chest, lift the shoulders, reach the arms back and up. Keep the gaze low. So oftentimes if we lift the head too much, we sort of lose what's happening in the chest. So the chin gently draws toward the throat. And then if you'd like, you can lift the legs. Lift the inner thighs. Keep the legs straight as you reach the toes back and up. And take 3 deep breaths. Every inhalation will lift you a little higher. exhalation lowers you. So you're riding the waves of the breath. Last time, deep inhalation. And as you exhale, lower down, bring the hands next to your chest. Press up to hands and knees, and then tuck the toes, draw back and rest in child's pose.